the sunset. The day is ending.
Well, we nearly died coming down the mountain last time, but now we need to go and see what's going on with Hartman. Why am I in a cutscene? Never mind. Never mind. So yeah, it looks like Hartman's in trouble. I mean, we knew from the look of him, he looked like he was in real trouble anyway. But we are in dire need of a rest. After all, we nearly died ourselves. Oh, look at all these ripe apples. He's mastered it. They're all hers. What do you call her? Like a box of apples? There is a word for it, I'm sure. Yeah. God, has he got frostbite on his fingers? Jesus. Sorry, Sam. Right. Yeah, Hartman's been sleepwalking. I wonder if someone's controlling that suit of his to spy on people. Okay, this is very disturbing.
Sorry.
What the hell is wrong with you, man? You looked awake, right? God, we have got frostbite. He doesn't look conscious there, does he? But his eyes were open when he looked through the door.
Hey, Sam. Long time no see.
What?
It's me, your old pal, Dead Man.
Dead man.
What?
Sorry if I gave you a scare. While Hartman is off conducting his near-death excursions, I am borrowing his body. My soul is normally confined to the beach, but for 3 minutes, I get to be here.
Okay.
How's that possible?
Because he has my heart.
Right.
You're telling me that's...
My parting gift to Hartman, yes. Per his request, I bequeathed it before departing on my one-way trip to the beach. He put so much stress on his own that it had grown quite weak. If and when it failed, mine was meant to serve as insurance. But as you can see, he appears to have become rather attached to my heart. His finger never far from the proverbial on switch, which is why I've been able to assume control of his body. Come here. It's good to see you, Sam. I told you in Mexico that someone had falsified BB-28's records. But in truth, it was yours truly. My intention was to leave no trace of a second BB-28 or of Lou. I wanted you to be free to live your lives, unburdened by the past. But then, well, everything changed, didn't it? You lost Lou, and needed answers to make sense of it all.
3 seconds remaining.
So, I decided to access the network servers from within the beach. Security isn't as strict over there as it is here, you see.
So that was you?
That's right. I am the one who dug up the information about Lou's past. Your very own Hartman was me all along.
2. Administering shock. Stand clear.
Sam.
What's going on?
And where are we?
Sam. Poor Hartman here is understandably confused. If you give us a moment alone, I'll explain things to him.
Okay.
Okay. Episode 9. Puppet.
Well, I've apprised Hartman of the situation. It's not unlike my own experience.
True.
A soul finds itself in a puppet and then acts as a puppeteer. One's ka can reside in any vessel to which one has a strong attachment. Human ha or inanimate object. It makes no difference.
Sam, it's Charlie. We've received an emergency distress call from the Eastern Environmental Observatory. I urge you to access the Adventurer's delivery terminal and pick up this main order immediately.
Right.
Well, never realized this place was this big.
Who the hell's that? Who the hell was that?
Hi, Sam.
Who was that? Seriously. Let's see if this frostbite goes away. Because if it heals sunburn, I imagine it heals the frostbite. Frostbite is healed, yes. Our fingers and toes are normal. Okay. It's really emotional actually when you run into Deadman like that. Just because he's the only character in the entire game that Sam will willingly touch now, isn't he? They've just developed this connection, and like it was quite emotional, that just the look on Sam's face, right? Because obviously, I mean, Norman Reedus as an actor in general isn't the most declarative of actors, in a good way. He's quite a subtle actor. This is why I guess he suits this role, because you get so little from him, but you could just see that slight bit of emotion there when it was Deadman all of a sudden. Right, let's get our stamina up, because we're in the mountain area. Frankenstein. Yeah, nothing new. Dollman?
It goes without saying, but I was not born into this world with this doll as my ha. Would you like to hear how I came to be in this condition?
Go on then.
My darling wife was working as a nurse in an isolation ward. A luckless place which one day found itself in the path of a tar tsunami, a freak occurrence triggered by an ill-timed gatequake. Not a single person survived. No patients, no doctors, no wife. We just have to be careful. Hold on. Access to the site had been restricted, but we weren't about to let that stop us. It was my daughter's idea. She was desperate to see her mother again.
What?
Be careful. Take off your hood. Okay, hold my hand.
Oh, this is good.
Mommy?
It's me, honey. It's me. In the end, it wasn't even her daughter that she remembered.
Oh man.
Before we knew it, we were swallowed by the tar, battered against the rocks, and eventually coughed back up into this world. Wait! Don't go! Down here, please!
Hello, little one. You cold? Let me guess. The car of that poor girl over there?
Oh, my daughter's car is long gone. I'm afraid it's just me now. She died, but for whatever reason, her soul was unable to move on because it ended up here in her doll, stuck somehow. My baby girl would have been left here all on her own. So I liberated her, forced her car out with one solid push. And she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Just as I would have done, had I not gotten stuck myself.
see. That's quite a story. Believe it or not, I've been looking all over for you, Mr. Spirit Medium.
As you can see, I'm of no use to anyone. I can't go anywhere. I'll be stuck here for the rest of eternity, and that's that.
Wanna come work for me instead? Yoha's no good to you now.
Huh. It didn't last long out of the tar. Poor old thing turned into a bog body in no time at all. You think you could bury them for me?
They call me fragile. What do they call you? The Dollman, maybe? No. Dollman suits you better.
If Fragile hadn't come looking for me, I'd almost certainly still be lying in that dreadful tar bog.
But your soul's trapped in that doll forever?
Perhaps. But if I could break free from this thing, maybe then I can be reunited with my daughter. When that happy day might come, I cannot say.
I mean, I understand that someone would be so desperate to see something resembling their wife or their mother again, but to take his daughter there seems so reckless. For a father to do that, right?
I did what any father would do. I pushed my daughter's car out of this doll, and she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Thank you for listening to my story, Sam.
Yeah,
But enough about me. It's time I let you focus on your job.
But you're the reason she died, though. You didn't have to take her there.
As I mentioned before, I lost my wife to a tar tsunami. And after she died, she turned into a geyser.
Yeah.
My daughter was unable to accept her mother's passing. She pleaded with me to see her again. As a medium, I thought it was within my power to grant her wish. So I gave in and took her to the hospital where her mother had died. It was the worst mistake I've ever made.
Obviously. Obviously, dude. This is why you don't do everything that children tell you.
I thought it was the right thing to do, taking my daughter to be reunited with her mother. And when we arrived, we played her favorite song, hoping for a reaction. But it was too late.
Yeah.
She had no memories of our time together as a family. She was no different from any other gazer. To be honest, I already knew that deep down.
That makes it even worse.
My daughter's heart was swallowed up by the tar soon after, as was mine. And eventually, my car became stuck inside my daughter's doll.
Yeah.
A prison very much of my own making.
Well, the appearance of the doll
I couldn't tell you
changed.
how long I lay there, until finally, someone came. Fragile. Looking for fellow doomed sufferers to recruit to her cause. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her.
Okay. It's a sad story, but it seems like it's all his fault, right? I mean, why would you take her? Yeah, very strange.
I dare say tomorrow may have mastered her unique abilities.
Yeah.
She can complete the apple aging exercise flawlessly and with remarkable consistency. It's been a boon for her confidence, and I am ever so happy for her, as I'm sure you are as well. Nothing like a warm... I feel as though I've seen those glasses before.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what misfortune may befall him, that adventurer is going to keep exploring the continent. I just know it.
Yes.
Is it the primal calling that compels him to make these journeys? Or perhaps he's become addicted to the thrills that come with experiencing the unknown. Regardless of his motivation, when I see how distressed his son is, I want to do what I can to get him home safe.
One thing that always comes to my mind, you know, when they talk about dooms, they always say doomed sufferer. And I remember when I was at university, whenever you do an essay, when you were talking about mental illness, if you weren't allowed to use the word sufferer, and in first year when you would put that in when you were talking about something, there would be like a huge red outline on it when you got the paper back. Like, we don't use the word sufferer when directly referring to people. Just that's what it always makes me think of, is that. And what are you supposed to say, I hear you ask? Well, it's really difficult. You have to... Oh, dead man's glasses. Yeah. Trying to think now. You kind of have to dance around it a little bit. Like, you know, someone experiencing, you know, PTSD, someone experiencing obsessive compulsive disorder, whatever. Someone going through rather than someone suffering from. Because I guess that when you say sufferer or suffering, it makes it sound very permanent. And you don't want to perceive any illness, right? But mental illness you want to perceive as something that you can overcome. It's not always that simple, obviously, but I guess it's because if you were saying it in a clinical setting to the person with the actual illness, you wouldn't want to refer to them as a sufferer, because I guess it sort of victimizes them or makes them feel like there's no way past it, I guess, is the reason behind it that was explained to us. Right. Muddy or mossy? Camouflage in muddy or mossy environments. We've not got any snow stuff, so let's go for this. Should we go for a white or should we go dark? Yeah, let's go black. Contrast to the snow. Yep, Beebs is in black as well. And we need some more chemicals for the Magellan if we want to continue crafting stuff. Right, I'm just going to have a quick glance at the corpus. And there is a bunch of stuff I've not read in here. But obviously it's more to do with equipment and stuff. Oh, yeah. So I guess we'll just spend 5-10 minutes reading the new preppers that we've got. Right, in the case of Dollman's daughter, however, her soul entered a doll and was not able to cross over to the other side. Dollman therefore placed his own soul within the doll, pushing out his daughter's and allowing her to go to the world of the dead where she belonged. One day he hopes his soul will be reunited with his daughter's. I mean, would it really? Is that really better? I mean, she would have been alive in some way if she would have continued in the doll. Interesting dilemma. There is a simple explanation for the mysterious emails that Hartman doesn't remember sending and his new habit of sleepwalking. Hartman wasn't writing them at all, Deadman was. Aware that his own heart was failing, Hartman asked Deadman to lend him his heart before going to the beach. He obliged, and Hartman hooked up his heart to his AED, ready to use as backup. Once they were physically connected, however, Deadman discovered the heart acted as a medium through which he could possess Hartman's body while it was in a state of cardiac arrest. On the beach, Deadman used the chiral network to extract data that would be impossible to come by in this world, intermittently possessing Hartman's body to share his findings with Sam under Hartman's name. With Sam's safety in mind, Deadman also altered the official records of BB-28 to make it appear as though Lou had never existed. Right, so we're just going to read through the people we've been unlocking. Yes, the Pioneer comes from a long line of explorers. His grandparents lived as nomads in the pre-Stranding era, travelling the world and exploring the oceans. At a time of mass communication, when the internet meant any information could be had at the mere lift of a finger, they preferred to venture out into the world for sights and experiences that couldn't be found online, which is getting more and more hard to do, right? As the Earth becomes more of a global culture, right? They were reluctant to settle down and even gave birth to their son in the middle of a voyage across the Pacific Ocean. They passed down their pioneering spirit to their son, who in turn passed it to the Pioneer. Though the Death Stranding has made such adventuring more dangerous, the Pioneer has not lost his spirit. He's ridden camels across the desert and watched fireworks explode in foreign skies. When he heard a plate gate had appeared down south, he walked through without a second. When a BT area appeared to the north, he held his breath and started searching for gazers. He dreams of a day when all of Australia will be connected to the network. Hopefully, that another plate gate will appear and a whole new adventure will begin. They keep mentioning another plate gate. I thought about this a couple of days ago. Like, is there a chance that they've decided to turn this into a trilogy? Right? Because they keep mentioning this plate gate as if it's going to lead to another game. It's just, yeah. So, I was sort of feeling like this was going to wrap things up, but the constant mention of this other plate gate, unless there's going to be another country we go to, like New Zealand, which would be a bit smaller maybe or something, but I can't imagine it'd be that. Anyway, a new suit pattern, which they can be useful actually, so let's not write that off. The fisherman was born and raised in a colony of preppers on the shores of an enormous tar lake in central Australia. The colony was small and its people survived on fish caught in the tar. One day, the fisherman and his mates went out to catch the biggest of them, the giant beast known only as the Lord of the Tar Lake. After sailing south for 3 days, they finally encountered the quarry near lakeside Fort Knott. But their delight quickly soured as they realised the Lord of the Tar Lake was no legendary fish, but was a giant catcher. The crew panicked, but before they could turn the ship around, they were struck by a huge wave. His mates were flung overboard, where they were quickly swallowed up by the monster. The fisherman was left to fall into the abyss, dragged down by his own ship. By the time he regained consciousness, he'd washed up on the Tar Lake's southern shore. 2 twin brothers had found him. Tended to his wounds and explained that a powerful whirlpool seemed to have brought him ashore. A catastrophic void out had destroyed his colony, and lakeside Fort Knott with it. So there are twins. For some reason, when he was telling me about I thought he meant that there were twin catchers, like the twin giant fish, and only one of them survived or something. But I just got that completely twisted. Ever since that day, the fisherman has vowed to finish his hunt and destroy the Lord of the Tar Lake. A lightweight remote detonation grenade launcher, if we get another level on him. The hydrologist. It was at one of these meetings that the hydrologist and Hartman first met. They discussed their experiences and before long had agreed to combine their research efforts, hot spring jumping and transponders, not to mention groundbreaking studies into beach coordinates and the water cycle, all owe their development to that meeting. A compact extra battery. Right, the mechanic. Humanity originated in Africa before migrating over a period of hundreds of thousands of years to Europe, Asia and Oceania and North and South America. No other species has expanded its habitat to such an extent, and it is this movement the mechanic believes that is the essential characteristic of humanity and the engine of our evolution. In the post-Stranding world, however, it's difficult for humans to move as they once did. The mechanic dreams of leaving the confines of his tiny shelter and roaming free across the wilderness, or sitting behind the wheel of a great machine and travelling faster than anything else, moving more freely than ever before. He lies awake at night dreaming of such a machine. He spends each day in the workshop trying to make it a reality. A component for increasing the pickup off-roader's attack power. Okay, sure. Leon Easton, a member of the distro staff at East Fort Knott, Leon came to Australia as part of the Advance expedition. He worked with locals to establish connection points for the chiral network before taking up a job at East Fort Knott. The main distro hub in Eastern Australia. Several of his close friends from the Advance expedition did the same job at F3, the main settlement in the north of the country. Losing North Fort Knott to a void out affected him greatly. Due to the chiralium blown in the sea Due to the chiralium blown in on the sea winds, frequently occurring disruptions in the tar currents and wild swings in the chiral density levels, East Fort Knot is in serious danger of suffering the same fate as its former northern counterpart. For Leon, the arrival of Drawbridge and the opportunity to join the network represents his city's last hope for survival. Right, a result of his road research in a new suit. Yeah, we need to level him up for that road stuff, definitely. The chronobiologist. Chronobiology is the study of internal biological rhythms. Our human body clocks cause us to wake in the morning and feel sleepy in the evening. Yes, circadian cycles. Many animals naturally hibernate in the winter, and some marine creatures follow the ebb and flow of the tides. All are examples of chronobiology in action. Since the Death Stranding, however, the tar currents and tides of the beach have also been observed to exert an effect on our body clocks. The field of chronobiology is therefore greatly expanded, with a chronobiologist at the forefront of that work. Once a scientist in East Fort Knot, F4, conducting research into the internal rhythms of cryptobiotes and other newly discovered organisms, the chronobiologist is now a member of APAC's science team. To further her research, she's moved her base of operations to an area of high chiral density. She also suffers from 21-minute syndrome. She's the daughter of the hydrologist. We'll get a new accessory if we level her up. Yeah, I always remember at uni, our lecturer who did our perception lectures, which was a lot to do with time perception and stuff, he was obsessed with Doctor Who. One of my friends had him as her personal tutor, and she said his office was just filled with Doctor Who memorabilia. Yeah, and he was like a bit of a metalhead, like really long hair. He was a great lecturer, really great lecturer. But yeah, it's really interesting when like learning about like the perception of time. And just sort of that sort of argument between reality and perception of reality, and what do you consider real? Is it just the perception? You know, like, because there are certain things we are incapable of perceiving because our sense organs don't perceive certain things the way like other creatures might do, for example. So it's just like an interesting thought of, you know, it's within philosophy. It's always like a debate between the actual real thing and the perception of the real thing, because we only see the thing because of our ability to perceive it, right? So there's that argument of what's real and what's just perceived, right? Okay, the Ghost Hunter. A statement from the Ghost Hunter. The word ghost does not necessarily mean the spirit of a dead person. Originally, it simply referred to anything supernatural. If you ask me, that's where the world's real truths are to be found, really. Its real secrets, where we might solve the mystery of the Death Stranding. In days gone by, I used to visit sites of paranormal activity myself, making inquiries and conducting investigations. I don't go outside much anymore, though, and not with the armed survivalists and the light rampaging around out there. And now everyone's talking about a new type of BT. That's why I'm so glad Drawbridge showed up when they did. If these new BTs are the real thing, then we need to check them out and take care of them. I'm not capable of such a thing, but you are, Sam. Australia needs your help. So does all of humanity, for that matter. A stealth grenade. The metagenomicist. The Death Stranding has dramatically altered the environment, and with it, all life on Earth. Dooms, chiral creatures, and cryptobiotes are just some examples of new biological and zoological phenomena that have appeared across the world. To understand the causes of these phenomena and predict how life on Earth might further change, it's important to analyse ecosystems as a whole and not look only at the level of individual species. It's to this end that the metagenomicist, a scientist working for APAC, has set up a lab analysing chiral microbes found to be living parasitically off chronobiotes. She's examined their ecology and unique characteristics. Her work is likely to advance our understanding of not only chiral creatures but also variants of BTs such as catchers. The metagenomicist's efforts, however, are slightly hampered by the 21-minute syndrome from which she suffers, also another daughter of a hydrologist. And we get a new APAS enhancement. Okay. Victor Frank, who we know from the first game, a Bridges staff member who used to work at Port Knot City in the UCA. Victor is the older brother of Igor Frank, the corpse disposal technician who was caught in a void out when helping Sam transport a body for incineration from central Knot City. Before he died, he entrusted Sam to look after his BB, who Sam took to calling Lou. The Luden's keyring attached to Sam's BB pod was a keepsake from Igor. Victor asked Sam to take it with him on his travels as a way of honouring his brother's memory. After the UCA was established, Victor left Port Knot City to work at a UCA research lab, only for it to be destroyed in a void out. It was so destructive, tight movement restrictions were imposed in the hope of preventing a similar void out from ever striking again. Away at the time, Victor was left unscathed and, for want of work, joined the APAC Advance Expedition to Australia. But his bad fortune continued when the closest city to the distro centre where he now works, Lakeside Fort Knott F5, was also struck by a void out, claiming the lives of many of Victor's friends. A lightweight grenade launcher from Victor if we level him up. Yeah, he's just surrounded by tragedy. Right? I suppose everyone is in this world. The adventurer is described as follows by his son. My father's an explorer in body and soul. He lives for danger, the thrill of discovery, and won't let anything get in his way, not BTs, brigands, or armed survivalists, not earthquakes, floods, or tar eruptions. But you already know this, you've met him. He was the man you rescued from the armed survivalist after he was captured trying to recover the Dowser's tar magnetite. I asked him once why he insisted on taking such risks, and all he said was, surely you understand by now, and not long afterwards, he was off again. And if we level him up again, we'll get a field wear for braving the cold. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to stick to sort of the character stuff for reading the corpus. Alright, Sam, we've got our new colour scheme going. We've learnt about Dollman. We've healed our frostbite. We've drunk our tea, so let's crack on with the main mission. Probably going to need a bunch of new gear. Well, no, I don't think it was too worn in, actually. But we'll see. Alright. Right, deliver the chiral decontaminators and sedatives to the Eastern Environmental Observatory. Right, our next destination is the... Where the bloody hell is that? So the Eastern Environmental Observatory. The facility's sole staff member has sent an SOS chiral contamination. Sent an SOS. Chiral contamination means he can't hold out much longer. Bring him some chiral decontaminators and sedatives. You'll be trekking hard routes at high altitudes, so take care. Wow, that is really... How are we going to get up there, man? The Austral Ridge, a ridge located on the southern side of Australia's Central Highlands. Snowdrifts and strong winds are common, but the relatively gentle slopes make life easier for mountaineers. The ridge is therefore often used as a means of scaling the peaks of the snowy mountains. Right, so we want to sort of maybe climb up onto the ridge and go up that way. How are we going to get up here, though? Probably this way is probably best.
Commencing route creation.
So we're going to go onto the ridge.
Delivery route finalized.
What? Oh. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's going to be all in the snow, and we can't fit all of it under the backpack cover. Right, that's going onto the carrier then. We're going to need a load of container repair spray. I'm going to take a PCC because we are going to be on the network for a chunk of this, so we can always build some shelters, I think. Don't think we need anything else. Maybe a second floating carrier. It's probably overkill, but... Okay. Right, let's make sure we're optimizing this. Right, we'll stick you on the tool, right? That's nearly dead anyway. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Then everything else that we need is in there. Let's just check how our boots are doing. We've got a spare one, so... We've got a new cover for the backpack. We haven't got anything to warm ourselves up just yet. Unfortunately. Right. I've got a couple of PCCs, so...
Order accepted. Thank you.
Right, so we're on the network, sort of, right up till marker number 7. So, we can build a timefall shelter somewhere along this ridge, I feel. 'Cause it's like a good halfway house between a lot of these places. Yeah, the ridge might not be a great idea because it's got a lot of peaks and troughs to it. That... You found a hot spring? On my way back from my latest adventure, I came across a hot spring near the Motherhood. There aren't many of those in Australia. I took a dip and immediately felt better, as if energy was coursing through my body. My injuries also healed up. If you're nearby, try having a dip. It's miraculous. Yeah, I built that. I wonder if we're near one here, actually. Oh yeah, the catapult. There is one in this direction. It's snowing lightly, so I can't imagine this is going to destroy the cargo as quickly as the other way did. Once we're on the ridge, I don't know, will it be a little easier to climb, maybe? Oh, my roads! No. Why can't I see the pavers? Right, so it's at 50%. Really, that's really going to bother me. Do these things deteriorate? Oh no! I mean, but we can't repair them until they're like destroyed, right? Oh, not really anything we can do, so. This is going to be epic, I predict. Also impossible from the looks of it. We got the gloves on though. Wonder how far away we can grab this cargo with these gloves on now. Sam? Oh! Thought I could hear some sort of avalanche then. Maybe the whiteout was scripted for that last bit, I'm not sure. Probably not. $11. Disgraceful. Yeah, I think I should have brought the second floating carrier, but this is mostly a trek only. Yeah, we need to be right on the ridge. We can't be, like, trudging through this bit. Yeah, if we want it to be easier, we need to be right on top of the ridge. We need to do more climbing, but it's much flatter. So I think our stamina will go down way less if we stay on the ridge. Right, the edge of the network was at marker number 7, I think it was. That is a long way down, Sammy. So we'll build a shelter just there. And we really... Oh, I should have built a zip lines. What am I playing at? I've only got 2 PCCs. Oh, it's such a wasted opportunity. Yeah, we're going to have to come back to do that. Damn it. Look at this, beautiful, man. We're in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we definitely needed to build zip lines. Maybe on the way back we can do that. Now we've got no more chlorobiotes, unfortunately. Right, I'm not going to check the cargo because we're going to build a shelter, so... Yeah, the edge of the network's on that ridge. Long way to go. Oh, bollocks. I can still repair it, right? Right, I think we should build the shelter at R6. And we'll just chill there for a... Pardon the pun. We could maybe, I don't know. Could have used the guideposts on here, but this ridge is not easy to traverse, to be honest. I should have been checking for that.
Gotta stay warm.
Yeah, I bet it was along the ridge somewhere. Our build time is much quicker now.
Construction process now complete.
Let's have a little rest.
Warmth.
Do a little yoga on the mountain. Look at the snow deforming. That's class. Oh, PCC. Right, am I don't know, what sort of distance are we talking about here? I mean, in terms of building zip lines. This is right on the edge of the network, so... Oh, it was a level 1. Damn. We need to go up the ridge first. This is going to be rough, man. I don't know how we're going to make it. Oh my god!
God damn.
Sam, look out!
We're dead.
I don't like the look of your cargo. It'll be beyond repair soon.
What do you mean cargo ruined? None of the cargo's ruined. What's he talking about? Virtual cricket kit? What are you talking about, dude?
Now leaving chiral network coverage.
Right, we'll stick that there for the return journey. And we've got another level 1 PCC, but we're off the network now anyway, so... I don't know how we're going to get across here, man.
Guess I'm doing this.
That looks like the way.
Fall now.
Shut up. Try not to fall. Honestly. Right, how traverse? That looks like a little path there, to be honest, rather than the one I've drawn out, which is there. Looks pretty steep though. We'll try it. It looks like more of a path. It's borderline though. Oh my god, look at this. This is like vertical. Yeah, there's a reason I didn't plan the route this way. We've got battery to use. A low oxygen area. Well, there's nothing we can do about that. Oh man. And the sun is setting. Holy hell. Right, how are we looking? 62% across the board. Yeah, that's us screwed. Yeah, we're going to need some help here. Come on, little floating carrier. Oh my god! An Aurora Borealis. Nearly there, guys. Nearly. Just gotta get across this snowfield. Right, we can pick up the Kyro crystals from further away as well. Oh god, there we go. Be careful, floating carrier. Reminds me of Hartman's lab in the first game. Well, we made it. Might as well just use up the rest of this repair spray. While we moonwalk. And this place has got a vehicle entrance. Oof. Still waiting for that unicycle, but yep, we got everything. Everything's perfectly good. Not sure we're perfectly good, but
Oh. Hey.
hey,
You actually made it here, huh? Or am I just imagining things? Right. Now check that cargo of yours. This cargo's looking pretty sweet. You're awesome. Look at you, handling all these jobs. Really went above and beyond. Truth be told, been waiting a long time for this moment. But I always knew you'd come my way. Go ahead and use your Cupid to get me online.
oh, that's the main one, not the distro center looking place. Yep, Ridge Frost. Nice. An oxygen mask. An oxygen mask? Let's read it in the corpus. An oxygen mask connected to a hood. With sufficient battery, the mask will provide a steady supply of oxygen, reducing the rate at which stamina is drained and allowing you to breathe normally in areas of low oxygen or VOG. Little nest, some music. Yep.
Now displaying your current order grade.
2 levels. 239, nice.
Alright. Connected to the network. Which means I can finally start fixing up this observatory. In case you haven't heard, we've been seeing an increase in chiral density in every region as the network has expanded. More instances of strange phenomena outside network coverage too. And I've been told this is indicative of plate gate emergence.
Right.
You know, after being alone all this time, I wasn't sure I'd be able to stay the course. Till you arrived with that life-saving cargo. Should be all set to hold down the fort now. Not exactly a one-man job, but I'll do my team proud. Oh, I've shared schematics for an oxygen mask with you. I'll help you stay active in areas where the air's thin. Personally, I'd recommend you wear one at all times when you're in my neck of the woods.
Sure. And what are you looking for?
Tar current fluctuations and whatnot. Mostly in the eastern part of the continent and elevated regions. Going forward, I'll also be paying very close attention to signs of plate gate emergence. Unfortunately, the chiral cloud layer has been gradually descending ever since I got here. Everyone was suffering from exposure, and I'm the only one who stuck around. You're the first friendly face that I've seen in a minute.
And I guess just, yeah, high elevation.
You know, at high altitudes, on mountains, like this one, for example. And if you climb above the cloud layer, you've got even less oxygen to breathe. Saps your energy even if you're not doing anything strenuous. Over time, you'll cover less distance and be at increased risk of slipping and falling. It's a good idea to wear your oxygen mask to help you stay strong and sharp.
Cheers, mate.
Mother Nature won't show you any mercy around these parts. The biting cold and steep slopes will slow you down, or stop your progress altogether. Now would be a good time to make sure that you're fully prepared for the journey ahead. By the way, the aeronautical engineer who lives northwest of here just posted a sub-order for you. Seems something at the Ghost Mech factory's got him all hot and bothered. Help him out and he might hook you up with some useful gear.
Sure.
In any case, I hope you'll come visit me here again sometime. I understand it's a lot to ask folks to make the trip on a regular basis.
Well, we got the zip lines
That's
to
why I'm
build.
hoping I can offer you stuff that'll be of use in hazardous conditions like these. Keep on keeping on, man. And thanks again for all your help.
This is the President, Sam.
Uh-oh.
Chiral network coverage has just passed the 75% milestone here in Australia. The next leg of your journey will take you to the southern part of the continent. Once the remaining regions have been integrated into the network, the manifestation of a new plate gate is all but guaranteed. Marshal your strength to overcome the final hurdles and make this continent whole again. We're all counting on you.
Sam, Rainy's not doing so great. It might be more of a mental than a physical issue, but I'm honestly not sure. Do you remember the doctor from the Motherhood?
Yes.
We think she should be able to help ease Rainy's anxieties. It was Tommen's idea. We already reached out, and she said we could come visit anytime.
Got you.
Since the Motherhood's within the chiral network, we can use the Magellan to travel there.
Oh, no.
Once you've made it back to the ship, just head to your private room and settle in. You can use the trip to catch up on sleep. But if there's anything you need to take care of before we depart, now would be the time to do so.
Okay, was that a warning?
Sam, I'm contacting you via a different protocol. This private mode affords me a direct connection to you alone. It seems Drawbridge has reason to suspect that APAC may have been involved in the production of ghost mechs. This possibility concerned me as well, so I conducted my own investigation.
Really?
And reaffirmed that APAC's underlying technologies are iterations of an older Bridges framework. What I'm getting at, Sam, is that the guilty party is not APAC, but Bridges, which is to say the
the UCA may also have some involvement with ghost mech production. This would perhaps explain why firearms and other weapons have become commonplace on the Australian continent. The UCA's precursor, the United States of America, had a prominent gun culture. Though Americans first took up arms to liberate themselves from British colonial rule, they retained the right to bear arms so that they might defend themselves against future government tyranny. APAC has no such designs, of course, but Higgs has used factories to obtain weapons in an attempt to subjugate the continent through violent action. And so, the people of Australia have, in response, been forced to take up arms in self-defense. A distinctly American philosophy, and one which would appear to have spread to this continent.
Great.
The more we seek to unite the people with metaphorical ropes, the more essential sticks seem to become. This particular situation is one that I feared might come to pass, which is precisely why I determined that it must not be the UCA, but a civilian organization which takes the lead in expanding chiral infrastructure. But if the UCA is indeed somehow implicated in these events, it may dramatically alter the calculus. I realize it must be vexing not knowing what to believe, Sam. Should I learn more, I'll contact you at once. For my part, I have a favor to ask. I must insist you not disclose that we've been in direct contact. There's no telling who may be involved with what at this stage.
Order completed. Well done.
Right. Unable to travel. What the hell's going on? There's a forest fire? Bushfires? That's not good. I regularly travelled across this bit, so... Right, so he said... to the northwest. Which I think this next person will be this chunk. Which will be quite important for building any kind of zipline network. So we're going to need one pretty much like right here to get to that zipline, I think. Which will be tough. But it's definitely going to be worth it, right? Because there's no way we're going to be able to get vehicles up here. I've not seen any pavers or track layers up in the mountains, so... We're going to need a bunch of PCCs. Right, so let's craft ourselves an oxygen mask. Oh no, he's the one in the ghost mech. Oh. Wow. Yeah, so we really, really want to build a zipline network down there then. We want one going to F5 and we want one going to the Adventurer. There's only one medium thing, but there's going to be enemies there, obviously. Right, so that'll be what we do in the next video. We want to build a zipline network down to the Adventurer, come back up, build one down to F5. I imagine this area is part of this main city in the south. And then we'll do that, this sub-order. I'm not going to do any major side questing, but we'll do this. I don't know, I did want to build the zipline network to sort of the chronobiologist and the ghost hunter, but it seems like we're going to fast travel on the Magellan, so we'll stick to just this side for now. But we'll leave that one there, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a thumbs up if you did. Just remember, everybody, never trust an uncrate. I'll see you next time.